Oh, hello. It's Patrick again. Thank you for joining us on this episode, which will be our very first live play of the Green Dragon Brewing Company. So you've made it past the first recap episode. I'll offer you my gratitude and congratulations. That was a big one. But now we get into the meat and potatoes of what this podcast is going to be. So the format that you'll hear today will be kind of what we're going to be serving up moving forward. You'll be hearing our the live play sessions that we have. I try not to edit out too much. I want everybody to hear the dialogue between players and myself in terms of rules and application of those rules and just the general conversation that happens during a game. But I have these sessions can get fairly long, so I am gonna be splitting them up into multiple episodes. So today we have the first episode, part 1, titled Dathranor's Gambit. So very excited for everybody to listen, and with that, I think we'll just jump right in. Is there anything else that we need to do before we jump in, or can we do that now?
No, I think we can probably get into that shit.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, perfect. So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Right. No, you go ahead.
Okay. So
no, you go ahead.
I'll just do a quick little recap of last session. After completing your research in the historical library of Cypress Acre, you were met by not one, not two, but eventually 3 Dathranors. One being the original, one being an imposter, and one, as you discovered during your life and death encounter with him, from the future. This Dath dropped Tinkerballs, and everybody else managed to escape fairly unharmed, but there are certainly questions that are lingering, and not a whole lot of answers. You've managed to speak to Dr. Aki in the fortress, but he provided you as much information as he could, but I would say generally that the group is at a loss for what just happened. You are still at Cypress Acre on Sturgeon Isle, and I don't know if you guys would have gone to bed. Would you guys have taken a long rest in the in your chambers?
Well, I think from my perspective,
not, right?
Yeah, from my perspective, we kind of left the session talking to Aki, and so I think the key thing for us is to be cognizant of time to get back to Dyerdale in time.
How much time has passed?
So it is still the second last day.
So we would need to get back. Like we would probably
by the following morning, you would it's your understanding that the war parties would be heading out if you weren't able to provide information, like evidence, that this war is potentially fraudulently founded.
We can take a long rest on the ship, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what it's there for. It's your quarters and everything like that. So,
okay.
I would probably, realizing that we didn't discuss this last session with Dr. Aki, we didn't ask him about the doppelganger that took over both David Letterman and I.
Oh yeah.
Jay, did you? I felt like you've had a special attention to this character. Have you? Do you remember asking Dr. Aki about it?
Well, so I asked somewhat specifically about any changelings that he might like. Does he know that who's on his island?
Okay.
And I asked specifically, kind of, did he know that were there any changelings? Because we kind of thought we might have saw one. So that was a pretty specific question from me. So we may get some value in a slightly broader kind of, hey, we saw this. Could you help us? But yeah. So I asked kind of like, are there any changelings? And he was like, and Dr. Atke said, oh no, there's no changelings on the island. There's, I think he may have suggested that it was just him and like his robots or something, but I don't know that he did that. He might have just said, no, there's no changeling.
I think Dr. Aki's response was more in line with like, yeah, it's just him and his experiments on here. He doesn't really,
Okay.
Right.
somebody being on his island that he doesn't know about would be.
All right, so we can ask him to keep an eye out or kind of around for anything revolving around changelings. The other thing that I'm wondering if we should ask him, and I kind of maybe I'll pull Hathawell aside a little bit. Feel like this would be more your call on this, but should we ask him about if he knows who Hero might be?
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Art becoming life there, I think, Pat.
Feel like maybe it's my call then.
What are you gonna ask him?
So I think Pat, we could. The one thing, I mean, yeah, he might know. He might know that person. I have a feeling it's unlikely.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's a well-known name or if
Sure.
it's someone surreptitious. So, yeah. So I ask him if he knows anyone named Hero from Stillerbach.
From Stillerbach. No, I can't say that I do. So sorry, I've got a timeout here. Is that where I said Hero was from?
Yeah.
Speak to Hero in Stillerbach. Cater is always looking for new experiments, especially
Gotcha.
those who
Okay.
can scream.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got to think this out.
Yeah. Take your time, dude.
Sorry, I'm gonna. Okay, so then I am gonna retcon it that he's in Bancroft Harbor. Sorry.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a guy named Hero from Bancroft Harbor?
And he confidently can say, oh yes, but I believe he's one of those more sordid types that you find.
So he has heard of this person
by reputation, yeah.
Okay, so he's he's kind of a bit of an iffy fella.
Certainly, yeah, but that's not unusual with anyone that's to be found in Bancroft Harbor. It's not a very kind place.
All right, that's probably everything we're going to get out of Aki, right?
Dr. Atke, if you would give us a moment to consult amongst ourselves, your help thus far has been wonderful, and we may yet have a question or two you could assist us with in our journey, if you would permit us a small gathering of our own.
Well, and keep in mind that he has the Bluetooth, so we can ask him something anytime.
Oh, fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no limitation on that.
So if we have questions, I think we should take off, and then if we have any questions, we just buzz him.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Dath, any big thoughts before we take off for Diadale?
Fucking Diadale.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Let's head back to the ship, and we'll take long rests on the ship, I guess. On our way back. Is there enough? How long does it take to get to Diadale?
You would certainly be able to take a long rest.
Okay.
It's about a 6-hour journey, I think, at this point.
We would have to wait on the ship once we got there, though, because I remember when things happened, I asked about long rests, and it was a no-go coming back from Diadale.
Okay. Then
we would have to hang out on the boat after it landed for an hour or two, I believe.
Okay. Then I have to quash that.
That's fine.
If we hang out on the boat, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We bounce now. We definitely have the time.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, I don't mean to
No. Sorry,
tell
thank
you
you.
what's what.
That's totally fine. I'm flying a little bit by the seat of my pants on the
Okay.
on the spacing in between, but
Yeah.
or the traveling in between. But that
Vividly remember that being a wrenchy in my plans.
that is fine.
Oh,
We
was
can-
it? Your plans were impacted by that, were they, Dath?
Well, it might have been. Might have done something else if I had a long rest. Who's to say?
Yeah, so it's basically dusk right now. You've managed to the sun is setting and has almost disappeared. And I'm assuming depart now from the central tower and head back towards the Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
Okay. So you exit the building and make your way back. You see the bots making their runnings around the city, and everything seems to be running like clockwork. You approach the ship. I'm going to make a roll right now.
Oh my god. Are we all in Roll20 or...
Tinkerballs, Dathranor, and I are in there. I think we're just waiting for you, Jay.
Oh shit. My bad, fam.
That's okay. I'm going to roll a d20, and it's above a 10. Something will happen. It's 10. Something will happen. Okay, so
This is where I leave you.
as you approach the ship, you see Calder and Fergus sort of cleaning the main deck, as they don't seem to notice you. You approach the God, what do you call it? The bridge, almost the walkway from land to ship, and you see
Gangplank.
the plank. Yeah,
The
thank
key?
you.
Are you talking about the key or the plank?
The plank. You see Calder turn around and meet you just meet you with the clean supplies that he's had, and he says, Captain, I think I need to speak to you in private.
Sure. Right away, Calder. Let's speak.
So he brings you into the what is it? Let's pull up the ship. He pulls you towards the wheel, and he says, "Sir, I'm not quite sure how to tell you this, but has Dathranor been? Did anything happen to him today?
Happen to him? How do you mean?
This morning, he commanded me to take the ship back to Dyerdale. And even though we were there briefly as we were leaving, the city was in a fuss about something had gone on. The bells were ringing, and he was covered in someone's blood.
This is most surprising. What else do you know?
Everything happened so quickly, and to be honest, I don't think I should be talking to you too long, because Dathranor made it very clear that this was not something that should be said, but I just don't think it's proper to keep it from you, the captain.
Very good, very good. I will keep your confidence. Let us return to the others.
Okay, so it's clear that Calder has immediately grabbed the captain or the Patho well, and they return, and Calder just meets your eyes, Dath, and he looks at you, and it seems pretty clear what he's done.
I do nothing. I don't notice his eyes being met. I pay him no mind.
Okay.
Quick side question. We had asked Dathranor where he had been last session,
Yes, we had.
and he had said training or something.
If I recall, he said that he had stayed in his room or something like that.
Yeah, I have no interest in investigations pouring through books. I was
And I had I'd rolled an insight check on it, and nothing came out of that.
Right.
low roll.
Yeah. Okay.
He is a
Perfect.
fan of meditation and being alone.
Right. Fan of
Right.
meditation,
And
being alone.
it honestly, it checked out. It checked out.
Yeah. It's all right. Okay. Do I...
I honestly think the
No.
only reason that I rolled an insight check was just because there were 2 Dathranors, and that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
And a future Dathranor killed me, and that was weird.
Certainly, it was
Here's
strange
But
times.
otherwise, I wouldn't have insight checked that.
Yeah. So I just to clarify the point, it honestly doesn't really matter. But when we asked where Dathranor was, we did not at that time know which was the correct Dathranor, but then we figured it out later, and we could put 2 and 2 together, the one answer to the other, right?
It's essentially
We had asked him after the battle.
After the battle. Okay. Quick question: do I notice the look from Calder to Dathranor?
You can make a perception check.
Cool. Okay, I will make a perception check. Oh, fucking. Alright, let's see. Is this how this works? Normal roll. Alright, so a 14 on the perception.
Yeah. So as you exit or come back down the stairs, you're mindful of the interaction between the two, and you do see that Calder is staring quite intently at Dathranor. But you do have your own understanding of what happened, so I'm going to get you to make an insight check.
Absolutely.
You think the intensity to which Calder stares at Dathranor, you kind of think this is personal, whatever this is.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, I've just been shared some disturbing news. It would appear...
Are you saying, like, are we all gathered?
Yeah. I think we're all together now at the kind of the foot of the boat, or the foot of the ramp onto the ship.
Okay.
I believe that the imposter Dathranor we saw earlier may have involved himself in our affairs much further than we may have initially thought.
How do you mean?
It appears that while in the guise of our companion, he took our ship and headed to Dyerdale, caused a commotion, and returned.
Sorry, so I'm just going to step in here, Pat. There's conflicting stories, so you don't believe one over the other.
Okay.
You're conflicted about the information.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So retcon that shit, I guess. Gentlemen,
We all get a retcon.
Everybody gets.
we all get a retcon. I believe we need to make haste to Dyerdale, for something seems afoot.
Well, I mean, we had to make haste there anyways, so I mean that makes sense. to me.
Hasterer.
Even more haste.
Much hasting.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on, but let's take off. Alda.
That fucking 10.
I know. Sorry, dude.
Well, it wouldn't have been 1 to 10 and then 11 to 20?
It would have been that, but then I was reminded of the Nat 1 that I had. I flip-flopped with, so I felt like...
I'll give you that.
So I feel like
Totally
we're
redeem yourself.
by hook or by crook, it's over.
Yeah, I
We've
deserve
moved.
that.
We've moved past Nat 1 gate. So.
I never want to hear about it again, Jay.
Only for like 2 more sessions, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I say we take off. Like, I think we gotta. If there's something going on, we gotta go.
Yeah, Jay, you have to be nice to me because that's why you got cookies.
Wait, I got cookies because you Nat won?
Yeah, so I don't have to hear about it anymore.
Smart play. Really smart play.
So the captain, Captain Pathowell, you've given orders that the ship must depart for Daredale immediately.
Yeah.
It sounds by this order, though, that the long rest will be foregone.
Yeah, we need to think about that because we're all pretty fucked up, right? I say that as Dathranor.
Let's see, how many spells do I have?
What do you want? You want some fucking...
Used a lot, but I can I can be okay. I'm okay.
I very much need a long rest.
1 second, you fucking hobos.
You just get called hobos?
Yeah.
Dathranor sure as shit did. 1 sec, where's my shit? Come here.
Done a lot on this current rest.
So, we can ill afford to take time, which you may need individually. However, what I will offer each of you, motherfuckers, is on our way there to play a song of rest. And we can... is that just hit points?
I think so. Spell slots are one of those like tricky resources in D&D where unless you're actually like taking it back. Unless you have it's like a sorcerer ability or something.
Tinkerballs, what are you feeling? You want rest them spell slots?
I mean, it depends on what we're getting up to. I mostly only have I can do some rituals, and I can I got first level spells, and I got 1 second level spell available.
Then, knowing as I say, they're likely, in my estimation, is something afoot in our destination. It makes sense for us to give ourselves the time we need to fully rest up before charging into anything unknown.
Give me
Jeff,
10 minutes.
Jeff, don't you play with me, buddy. Don't you play with me.
So I say at the very least, let's take off, and we can decide on a rest as we're going. Give me about 10 minutes to sort something out, and I can let you know what I think about our plan.
Sounds like
very well. Let us board the boat. Let us board the boat.
I'm gonna cast an augury.
Uh-huh.
Because I like them better. They're fun. I haven't cast one in a while. I pluck out 3 of my taint hairs, and
as ever.
And I throw them up, and I ask, on our way to Diadale, will we be better served taking a long rest? Kind of the intention behind that is and so kind of like good result would be like in my mind like if we take a long rest, that's a good result. If it's a mix, that's a mix, and if it would be a bad thing for us to take a long rest, then that would be.
I'm gonna disqualify that question for being too meta. I need you to word it differently.
Oh, true. Sorry.
Because like any warrior after a long day would be like, there's nothing better than a good night's rest, right? So of course.
Yeah. I don't know how to word it in a way that will be not meta, so I don't know if this... Just because long rests are kind of a meta thing, so I don't know that I will cast this then. We'll just have to decide if we want it.
Your character was recently murdered.
Killed.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hurt.
I can't see why you would be against a long rest.
Yeah, I can't. I also, I don't know what's going on in Diadale. And
2 extra hours in the air are not going to change one thing.
Well, the other side of it, too, is if there is something fucky going on in Diadale, Alcide has reacted poorly to us several times in the past, so I don't trust his reactions. I think I would rather be at my best.
Okay.
I say we might need to get there quickly, but I can't do much. I'm pretty hurt.
Then let us take the time we need to have a long rest, that we will be fully revived on our arrival. Agreed?
Love that.
But if there's something going on, I say
I immediately take it back because Dathranor's disposition, normally quite fucky, has lit up positively, and so I take all that shit back.
I don't trust him.
He started smiling immediately when I said long rest, and I was like,
That's amazing.
All right.
I don't have a reason to distrust Dath aside from him killing me. But I'm not looking at him weird for this exchange.
Okay, Dath, you're taking it too, so everybody can take their long rest then.
So this is, I guess, sorry, I was typing something.
Calder doesn't need to be. Calder can be kind of keeping an eye out just in case that.
Yeah, Calder would be.
So what I would say is, since we can't be sure that changeling didn't stow away on the ship.
Before we do that, I have noticed Calder staring at me. I would. What's that? Sorry.
Sorry, you have a thing. Go ahead.
I've noticed Calder giving me the eyes, and so I would glance at him questioningly and ask, Calder, do you have something to say?
And we're all still together, obviously?
Yep. He says, not to you, criminal.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. You're a criminal, and I don't know what you did, but I know you took advantage of everyone and everyone on the ship, and you did something this morning. And he says this out loud.
Can I insight check this one?
Yeah. So this will be a reminder if anybody would like. You do have your passive abilities, or your passive perception
since my passive is 17, can I passively have some insight into Calder?
Yeah, you certainly. So his words sort of are spoken with like a truth and conviction to them that you believe what he's saying. That there's something to this. That something happened.
What the fuck happened?
Tell them, you monster. What did you do?
I've been on the island with them this entire day. We have fought through quite the ordeal while you sat comfortable on your boat. He
starts yelling at you. Have you no shame? Have you no decency?
I would again just give him a "what are you talking about" look.
I would I step in to Calder. Calder, calm yourself. Calm yourself. Yelling.
He interrupts you. He says, I told you something happened. What are you going to do about this? This is your ship. Be the captain.
Calder, there's something you need to know. Whilst we were on the island, we came across an imposter posing in likeness to Dathranor. You seem upset. You seem angry. But I need you to consider, could the person you're upset with, who you're claiming is criminal, be, are you 100% sure that it was this Dathranor and not someone who looks and exactly like him?
He seems taken aback by this. He says, "What? No, I know what I saw. It was Dath. He came on the boat. We flew away and we came back and he was covered in blood. Are you sure? I don't know what to think. You can. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know that this is surprising news, especially when you were so sure of something. We have all found surprises in this day that we can't explain. For the moment, though, you need to release your anger until we find further answers.
You can make a persuasion at advantage on that.
Excellent.
Jay. And then I will make an opposed persuasion check. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. D&D has like the new thing where it.
Yeah, go. You can turn that off.
Yeah,
right click or click the little arrow beside your name. You can turn off that alpha.
All right, non-nat 20 for me.
Very nice. And as you've seen, I've rolled for Calder, and he got a 4. So he says, "I'm so sorry. I was out of line. I trust you completely.
Now, Calder, I mean, there's something fucky going on surrounding Dathranor. We don't know. He has, if he's doing something. I will say I was killed by him today.
We all have interest in getting to the bottom of that situation.
Hey.
Can I offer a potential solution? I won't do it unless all parties agree to consent to it. Consent is important in life.
Some would say the most important.
I have a spell called Zone of Truth. We could all consent to kind of a truthful gathering inside this zone, and we could ask each other questions. We could, if anything weird is going on, we could know. But I'll only cast it if we consent to it.
I have no problem with that. It's exactly the way magic should be used.
As Dathranor said, we want to get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible. Let's ask some questions in a zone of truth.
Fergus the dwarf, what are you saying?
Fergus is my homie. He says, yeah.
Yes, the truth is my ally.
Dathranor?
Oh, 1 sec.
Dathranor's fucking reading.
Guys, this is incredible. I'm loving this.
Man, oh man.
Can he beat the polygraph? This is fucking spectacular.
I'm trying to... I feel like I didn't do that in a meta way. It makes sense, and you fucking killed me today.
No, that was awesome. Jay, I'm not sure if this was part of the plan or the role, kind of like your move of saying that there's been multiple Dath sightings today. That was amazing. I was not expecting that.
Thank you.
I'm blown away, guys. This is amazing.
I was unsure of how this was going to kind of play out as far as kind of us trying to make sure that we didn't abuse the non-character knowledge that we had. But I realized that we all are kind of like, so there's like 1,000 Dathranors. Can we fucking figure that out?
Why are there so many Dathranors?
Yeah, so we've got everybody but Dath. Dath, do you consent?
Yeah, I step in.
Okay.
So I cast the Zone of Truth. Now I can just decide to fail a saving throw, right? Or do I have to try this? Do I have to try it?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say for now you have to try and succeed.
Okay.
Just because it's like kind of the spell compelling you, but if you want to look that up, okay. No, here's what it is. You're gonna pass the. You're gonna roll for the save. Whether you succeed or fail, it won't really matter because you're just gonna tell the truth.
Wait, that's not me.
Sorry.
Are you sure?
There's no modifier. That's the lucky. Oh, that's so lucky, actually. So I need to have Fergus, and I need to have. Okay, I think you guys can ask your questions.
I don't know if there's any rule, but yeah, I'll have to roll as well. What's my?
It's a good question. Let me Google it as you guys.
Okay, and my spell DC is to be a wisdom 15.
You can choose to fail one from a meta sense.
Oh, okay.
16 is everybody's saving throw, eh? A wisdom?
It's a charisma saving throw. Charisma 15.
Charisma 15.
Yeah.
Here goes Calder. Here goes... Nope, it's the wrong one. Here goes Fergus. So as they step into the zone of truth, their body language doesn't really change. They seem to be okay.
And sorry, did anyone else roll on that?
Dath has not, and Pat has not.
You can choose to fail it, right?
You can choose to fail it, yes.
But everyone is rolling to succeed.
So I will step into the circle and say I choose to succeed.
Okay. I rolled a 19. So I step into the zone of truth and I say, I will tell the truth.
But I know that you don't have to.
Yes, you do.
Are you?
So if you want, you can choose to fail it.
Me?
Yeah.
I do not choose to fail it.
Interesting.
Games within games.
Shady shit going on.
Yeah, I would step in and
+9. Fuck.
use my luck, which doesn't do anything. Just gonna fuck. I'm fucked. This character's dead. These
Luck
rolls
doesn't-
fucked me. No, because luck is gonna give me like I'm gonna have to roll a fucking crazy ass roll with this luck. And it just sucks. Oh my god.
No, sorry. How many luck points have you used?
I haven't used any yet. This is the first time.
So it seems like you could do that until you.
No, I don't think so. You have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack, an ability, or saving throw, you can spend 1 to roll an additional d20, and you choose which die to use. You can choose to spend luck points after you roll, but before the outcome is determined. I don't know if I could just keep throwing them at 1. I think it has to be like a 1 per, from the way that reads to me.
Okay, I'll double
You
check
can
that.
spend
But
1 to roll an additional d20.
you did roll a 17, which you get to add your 9 to, so that's going to be a 26.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, I didn't realize the mod attached to that.
That's okay. But you
Okay.
passed the charisma save.
Yeah, so I step in and say, I also speak the truth.
And I will sigh and say, well, this fucking experiment failed.
So Tinkerbell, does Calder have to speak the truth?
Calder has to speak the truth.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
I was
Calder,
hoping that we would all choose to speak the truth, but you guys...
have.
No,
we are.
no, you don't have
I'll
to.
speak the truth.
So this experiment is a failure.
The experiment's not done yet.
I would
Calder,
like to, by the way, Pat, just kind of have a very passive insight, highly trained on both Pathowell and Dathranor right now.
You will need to choose who you are focusing focusing passively on.
Dath.
Okay.
He's killed me.
False.
Fair.
Backstart.
Um,
Oh, that fucking poor roll, man. I'm salty about that.
okay, so everybody's in the zone?
Yep.
Path, you asked your first question, does Calder need to tell the truth? And Calder sort of like impulsively like answers the question. I do. I really do.
Cool. Can I just ask another question, or are we going to do a circle thing? Or what's up?
You can ask another question.
Calder, explain with any detail you can what happened last night and into this morning.
Okay, yeah. He explains that early this morning I was asked by, last night as as we were setting in for the night, Dathranor came to the Silver Bullet and requested quite strongly that the ship be taken to Dyerdale. The manner in which it was, I can't remember if Dath intimidated or lied about, like, it was
intimidated after his persuasion failed.
Yeah.
With a nat 1.
Right.
No, that was on the way back.
Oh fuck! Right. Okay. Fuck.
Right. Yeah, I remember the it wasn't so much the
failed at
way there.
persuasion both times.
It wasn't so much the way there. It was the way back. The way back was the
I think
the
he
tricky one.
intimidated both times, though.
He certainly. Anywho, whatever the case may be.
Anywho.
The important part is that they arrived at Dyerdale in the morning, like bright and early morning. Dathranor departed, wasn't gone anything more than 10 minutes, and is sprinting back to the boat as the alarm or the alert bells are ringing in the city. And Dathranor first tries to coerce Calder into leaving immediately, and then as that failed, he turns his anger and wrath upon Calder and intimidates him into leaving. But it's this is the moment that Calder got the weird feeling in his stomach that something was amiss, something was wrong, and something terrible has happened. As well, he describes Dath as being covered in blood. and this is a major sticky.
Was Dath covered in blood when were either Daths covered in blood when they came into the library?
They were not. I'm assuming that's a meta question, right?
Yeah, that was just kind of like, do I either of them covered in blood?
You do not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's what you were thinking, Dathowell, about possibly that being the changeling, could that could be coming into play.
Absolutely. Tinkerball.
Unfortunate he escaped, as he would have been good to question.
Statement, not really question, but
well, it's still in the zone of truth, so.
Oh yeah,
as far
it's
as
still
you're
zone of
concerned,
truth.
No,
as far as you're
I've announced that both Dathranor and Dathowell aren't bound by it because they chose to not speak.
Okay.
So we are all aware that you don't have to speak the truth, Dath and Path. I, on the other hand, have bound myself to the zone. I do have to speak.
As you said, Tinkerballs, does Fergus have to tell the truth?
Yes.
Fergus, what can you tell us about this time period that Calder has relayed to us?
I was sleeping like a baby underneath the deck. I didn't even realize we left the island until this mid-morning on our way back.
Great. For sure. Fergus, who is island to you?
Oh shit!
In the zone of truth. Oh my
Wow.
god. That's fucking
He is
hammer.
not compelled to answer, by the way.
Who?
Fergus doesn't have to answer, by the way. He just
Right. Yes. You're right.
Truthful
You're right.
statement. So there's no compulsion to speak.
He does answer though, and
Yeah, he fucking does.
he says, every time I hear that name, I'm reminded of my greatest failure. I miss. That's all he provides in that moment.
Okay.
Cool. I've got some other shit locked and loaded, but I don't want to hog the cone.
That was like an absolute haymaker out of nowhere, Jet. It was so funny.
I hope you don't hate me as a player at any point during this.
No. I've got to make sure I've got stuff ready in case I need to.
I know that's the one thing I always worry about because I'm always trying to. I'm trying to. You know me at this point. I'm trying to throw some shit out there, but it's perfect.
That was great. That was
Now,
awesome.
Now, Dath, I'm more curious to know if you have any questions about anything that's going on. Like, there's been a changeling disguising themselves as you, and a future, definitely you, working for fucking Cater. And
I have
heard
many
too much out of you.
I have many questions.
What are you questioning? What questions? What do you?
Who is the changeling? Who sent the changeling? Why is the future me attempting to murder all of us? Who do I ask these questions to? Path, do you have an answer?
No.
Who do I ask these questions to? I ask again.
I guess you could wait a couple years and ask yourself.
Dr. Aki seems to be saying less than he knows. I do have interest in speaking to him again.
Again, we'll
We could speak to him
anytime.
right now.
But before we
He's
do
already
that,
told us what he's willing to tell us.
yeah, why do you think a changeling disguised themselves as you and went to Diadale? That's maybe a group question. Anyone can also feel free to answer. What does a changeling, if this is what happened, what does a changeling get by disguising themselves as you and going to Diadale?
Fergus says, he jumps in, if our ability is undermined and we have a reputation that is untrustworthy, our mobility through the continent would be compromised, which would be fine.
True.
I trust our ability. I trust ourselves to get by. We're all adventurers, but the question I have, who regards us as an enemy or a threat?
That's my follow-up question to all this is who fucking cares about us? We shouldn't be on anyone's radar. Why are we on anyone's
Be on anyone's radar. We have sufficiently pissed off everybody we've encountered.
Captain Trumon's our buddy. Diredale are our buddies. They're not doing exactly what we're doing. We've got great
We killed
personal
that
relationship.
dragon.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive.
Yeah,
Dr.
dragon-
Aki's a big fan of ours.
Stillerbock, but we shouldn't be on their radar. We just ran into town and ran away.
They don't know fuck all about us.
I think it's clear that, at least in the future, this Cater fellow that angry future Dath came from is not too pleased with us.
In regards to that, you can rest assured I have as many questions as you do.
But how many answers do you have?
Likely the same as you do. I can see just about as far into the future as you can.
Dath, what are you looking for? What do you want out of any of this? Why?
What are your dreams?
I actually have no idea.
like specifically,
Meta, I have
kind
no
of.
idea. I haven't. I've been struggling with that
Yeah.
as a character because I was just rescued and I knew what I wanted to do as the character, and it started as a brewery thing, and then it just kind of has become very much not that, and so I don't.
Very much not.
No.
And it's unfortunate because we know a little, at least a possible place where your character ends up. Although maybe it doesn't happen.
Maybe it doesn't happen.
Maybe that's just one potential future.
It's a multiverse.
Um,
Yeah, meta, I have no idea. And I have been struggling to write anything that cohesively makes sense. Because nothing makes sense. I wouldn't be with you, realistically.
This is taking a turn. I don't like the cone of truth anymore.
it's a zone,
meta.
it's not a cone. It's a big circle, not a cone.
Flat circle.
Still. All right. Well, I mean, are we gonna get anything? We can't. I mean, I already asked Dath what he's been up to. He said he'd be in his room. He was in his room. Asking it again here is not going to get us anything more because he doesn't have to be like.
I've got one more.
If it weren't truthful.
So the working assumption is that it was a changeling masquerading as Dath until that
Yeah.
doesn't
One
seem
more question.
unreasonable.
Calder, do you recall what sword Dathranor had when he came upon the boat?
It was his sword. The sword we gave him. Jesus Christ. My voice is all over the place. Sorry.
You've got the hardest job of switching between voices and stuff.
This Calder responds, this is who I thought it was. I thought it was Dath. He looked like him. He walked like him. He talked like him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what we're up against. I think we have to question everything. All of us do. If there's a changeling potentially masquerading as us.
As any of you.
As any of us.
As any of us.
So what I propose is, I mean, we got to make our way to Diadale for now. We got to tell Alcide and try to stop the war.
Agreed?
We should probably make the Zone of Truths a semi-regular thing so that we can check to see if each other are changelings. At some point, maybe try to decide to be truthful within it for the rest, for the various folk that have decided not to. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I don't think we're gonna get anything else out of this. We gotta talk to Fergus.
All right. Yeah. Agreed. Let's get on our merry way.
Talk to Fergus or talk to Alcide?
Well, we gotta talk to Fergus about shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. You dispel the Zone of Truth, I assume?
Yeah.
Indeed.
It is dispelled. You now are kind of forced that this didn't take all that long. So where are we on the long rest? Are you taking the long rest or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My one question is, if I wanted to do stuff during the time that we're traveling, but we've essentially agreed we're traveling for the duration of a long rest. Can I do stuff, or do I have to rest for the whole time in order to get the long rest?
Extended downtime, at least 8 hours long, where the character sleeps or performs light activity, reading, talking, eating, or standing watch for no more than 2 hours. If the rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells, or similar adventuring activity, the character must begin rest again to gain any benefit of it. So that kills it.
Yeah, so think of it more as like a 2 hour. You've got like a 2 hour break in between the 8 hours that you would have to rest, where you can do like household activities that are not strenuous. So anything that goes beyond like that threshold, I have to say you don't get the long.
I will say that we probably should be keeping some watchings as well, given that
You'll be in transit on this long rest.
Yeah, I know, but if a changeling is stowed away,
oh sure, yeah.
I don't trust that that hasn't happened.
Jay, what did you want to do?
So the thing I was going to do was just to speak to Fergus privately.
Sure.
And so the first thing I would do, going to Fergus, apologize. Fergus, I'm sorry I put you on the spot. As you probably can tell at this point, the name Island means something specific to me. And I don't think we've explained this to him before, right? I don't think we've explained to him earlier in our adventures, you, in fact, came to us, I believe, from the future. And you gave us instructions on what we should do if we ever found you. Does that make any sense to you now?
No. I'm at a loss for words. This is all so much. I told you about Island.
Not only did you tell us about Island, you made it clear that we should seek you out to tell you that they are alive.
Island's alive?
We haven't met this person on our travels yet, but we've now met you. And under circumstances that are very similar to an encounter we just ran into, which is that someone, again, came from what seems to be the future to give us a message.
This doesn't make any sense. Island died. We were tracking the Trask and it turned on us and destroyed our unit. I mean, it's the single reason as to why I left the ORA.
The Trask is a creature of mystical ability. I'm asking him.
It's the apex predator of our world. It's while there are many stories about it's responsible for the world we live in today. Harrow's Bay isn't what it used to be because of the Trask. The Trask was the legacy of the reclamation.
I apologize to you, Fergus, that I don't have answers for you yet. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that some of the things we've become embroiled in may yet bring about answers that we both seek. One question I have left, if you'll be so kind as to indulge. Do you know the name Cater the Spider?
Not any more familiar than I think what everybody else does. He's an evil wizard from the past, a bad dude by all accounts. It's weird. I find it strange that you bring up the ending of Harrow's Bay and like also the beginning in Cater the Spider.
We have reasons to believe that Cater may be involved in these affairs. We have a reason to believe in knowledge that we've learned that the Trask can be controlled, possibly repelled, possibly summoned. It seems the more we become embroiled in this continent's activities, the more things intertwine.
I would say that if we are dealing with powers much bigger than us, and the Trask is a pawn being moved around the board, that whoever is making these movements is truly terrifying. And the last thing we want to do is fight that thing head on.
At the moment, Fergus, I agree. But I have a feeling we may come to a place where we'll be confident in attacking those who may have taken things from us. I thank you for your time. I'm sorry I couldn't provide more information, but hopefully you will see that we as a party will see your best interests furthered as we seek our own answers.
Before I let you go, was there any more information about Island? Do we know where she is?
Let me search my memory.
It's a weird thing to say in a conversation, but if that's what helps you.
I have sang many songs and I've seen many sights, Fergus. Let me consider so that I do not lead you astray with false information.
Please, whatever your artistic process is.
Can I Bluetooth Tinkerballs?
You may, yeah.
Grab my teeth. Yo, Tink, you awake?
Yeah.
What else do you remember from when Fergus teleported himself and his message to us? Do you remember what the background of his shit was? Do you remember, like, if he said anything about what's the name he said?
Honestly, there wasn't much to it. It was just we were flying through a storm, and suddenly a portal opened up on the ship. And I mean, he was wearing. I wrote down Batman dwarf. Can you?
I wrote bat symbol.
Can you confirm he was wearing armor that had a bat on it, or
it had an emblem of a bat?
It had an emblem of a bat. There was a emblem, and all he said was, "Find me and tell me Island's alive." Those were his exact words. And then the portal disappeared.
Thanks, bro. I turn to Fergus and say, unfortunately, there's not much more I can tell you about Island. As you heard, assumptively, I don't know if it was directly in my ear. Is there a tooth in my ear? Fuck, gross. Anyways, Fergus, you were wearing armor that had a bat symbol on it. And I don't know if that provides you with anything you can know, but that's the only other piece of information we have about the message you sent to us a while ago.
Well, I thank you for having this conversation. I wish I could provide more answers, but I've got a lot to think about.
Same here. I thank you for indulging me in the conversation, and we'll see what happens when we get to Dyerdale.
I agree.
I have to go take a snooze.
Yeah, okay. So everybody can long rest. And we depart for Dyerdale. That's the end of our episode. I just want to thank everybody for listening. Part 2 will be up very soon. I'd like to remind anybody who wants to follow us on social media that we can be found at GDB Company on Twitter, and at Green Dragon Brewing CO is our subreddit. And until next time, stay green, everyone.